Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. Here I come from miles around, thousands of stories to tell. So, someone said, "You have so many stories." I'm 60. If you don't have a story for every hour that you've ever lived, then you ain't doing it right. One day I was on a plane and this woman came to sit down in the seat next to me. Now, this was going to be a 4.5 hour flight. And I typically have the aisle seat. I need to get up and stretch throughout the flight. And so she was coming to get in next to me, and she came, and before she even, sat down or acknowledged me or anything, she threw her bag across me and then started putting all these other bags up in the overhead. And the flight attendant sees this and starts making the announcement, one bag only in the overhead. And she's like looking like, where did this woman get all this stuff? But she's pulling these things out of other bags, and then she kind of shoves her other bag up, and then I kind of skirt around, get up to let her get into the window seat. And she plops down and she turns to me and she says, "So, what's your story?" I'm thinking, what? Now, because this was a long flight, I actually had a physical book that I was going to read, and I was excited about it. And the book was in my lap and was there present for me to read it. It was obvious that I had been reading when she got on the plane, but she wanted to talk. She needed to talk. So I kind of just looked at her. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, when they announced the Inflight Entertainment, did you hear my name? Because I'm not it. But she needed to talk, so I put my bag in the seat back in front of me. Now, let me tell you, before some of you get a little bit mad, like, why would you, you're not there for her. It's true. But one of the reasons why I have so many amazing stories is because I listen to the stories of others. And when you listen to the stories of others, you get the stories you need for yourself. So I said, okay, let me listen. So she goes on to tell me about her life and blah, 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 blah. Because I'd said to her, "Ma'am, nobody has one story. You have many." So she starts to tell me her story. And it turns out she had been in television, and she was high up in television. And then she decided to get married and have children and stay at home. But she was not, you could tell, at all satisfied with this choice. She needed a little bit of both. She wanted both, or she thought. And then this wasn't working for her, and she missed being in the spotlight the way she had been. So she goes on, and I tell her a few details about my life, and I tell her a little bit of, who I am and what have you. And about an hour before the flight ends, she says to me, "Can I tell you something?" And I said, "Well, we've been telling each other something for 3 hours. It didn't stop you." She says, "When I first sat down, you were very arrogant and uppity, but you were really a delightful and beautiful person, and you should try to be more that way." And I said, "Okay, we telling each other things, huh? Okay." I said, "Well, that's your observation. And your observation is probably based on a couple of things. I was thinking things about you. I was thinking, here's a woman who hears this announcement that says, don't take up all of these things, don't take up the overhead space, and yet you did anyway. You didn't introduce yourself to me. You threw your bag across me, and then you demanded of me a story, as if you could hit a play button and I should play." I said, "Now, I'm not even going to bring race into this conversation, but would you do that to someone else?" She begins to cry, and I said, "No, no, 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 no. No, let's stay with this narrative. I'm the arrogant one." "Well, it's just it felt that you were cold." I said, "No, I wasn't cold. I wasn't cold at all. I was sitting on a plane preparing to read a book. And because I wasn't doing what you thought I should do for you, you felt some kind of way. I said, but you see where my book is. I didn't read it. I sat and I listened. And I said, because you shared with me your life, I'm going to share with you a few more things. You miss who you got to be. And you still get to be it. You're not dead. Go do it. She cried some more and thanked me profusely. Here's the thing. We often demand of others what we're not willing to give to our own self. You can't demand of me that I narrate my story according to your will, nor can I demand of you that you bend your story to me. Was I arrogant to her? I was. Can I be a little bit uppity? No. Probably had more to do with the fact that she was like, how'd you get into first class? We all are occupying this space together. And I have so many stories because I listen to the stories of others. But not only do I listen, I process my own life that way. A story's not a story until it's shared. Until it is, it's just your observation. I love you.